So what do you think this is? Well, believe it or not, it's a culvert at the park. So let's see what I did. So I pre-toned my canvas with red iron oxide, and then I did a little outline with red iron oxide, and I used Rembrandt brand for this. It's my favorite color for outlines and for base coats on a painting. And then I decided to do kind of a tonal painting underneath. I did add a little bit more ultramarine blue, and then I made a purple, and it just was kind of giving me an idea where everything was going to lay. This scene was in the shadow, and you can probably tell that from the colors I'm using. And then more in the distance, you'll see a lighter tone. Now this is what they call painting the ugly first, and you can see it's not very attractive, but it does give you an idea of your values, where the darker values are and where the lighter values are. So these were birch trees, and the sun was coming from the left, but also these were in a lot of shadow, so they had a lot of moss on the sides of the left side of the trees and on the tops of the fallen trees. I used ultramarine blue and cad yellow medium, and also ultramarine blue and yellow light. And I always try to mix in some purple or lavender colors in with my greens. It's always a good contrast. This was a shadow on the side of the little pool of water, and I was having trouble picking a color to make that visible and understandable. You can see I thought it was not dark enough. I'm adding more. This what I'm using right now is a mixture of ultramarine blue and red iron oxide. It makes a really nice dark color. This water was pouring out of this pipe here on the lower side of the painting, and I was trying to reflect that there was some water movement there. I don't know if I really totally got it right, but it was quite a back and forth kind of deal. You can see there were some trees in the midground that were putting a shadow on the water, so I got those in. At this point I think they're a little bit too small, but I'll make them bigger in a minute. And the reason I'm making this darker, the water actually was very pale and matched the sky, but when my son looked at the painting, he said, that just looks, what is that, a cave? He couldn't figure it out. So I kind of saw what he was talking about and decided I needed to get more blue in the water so it was more understandable. This is just a little branch that was sticking out, landing in the water there. Putting a little bit more blue. In this case I'm using cobalt blue and titanium white. And it did look a little bit more discernible as water. Well, I'm getting close to done. Not really sure about this little culvert, this little pond in the middle, but I do like kind of the color and the darkness and the trees. And we'll see how I feel about it in a few days. This is a good example of taking a scene you look at all the time that's kind of boring, working it up. Happy painting!